Welcome back to lesson 3 of our carbon chemistry. In this lesson 2 we looked at the chemical reactions of carbon, but we saw only 2, but now we are going to see others as they follow. So the first one, we saw that carbon, when it is burnt in excess oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide gas, but when it is burnt in limited supply of oxygen, it forms carbon monoxide gas. So now from there we are continuing from that equation which we wrote down. Now we continue and we say, and you can write notes if you want, no problem. You can pause the video and write. And please do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that I can continue making different contents. If you subscribe, you also encourage me to make more and more videos available for you. So we are saying that exhaust fumes from cars or motorcycles, they contain carbon monoxide because of incomplete combustion of petrol or diesel. So the exhaust fumes from cars or motorcycles, especially these old ones, they contain too much carbon monoxide because petrol or diesel, it is not completely burnt, hence forming carbon monoxide gas. There is a note there that diamond, graphite, and amorphous carbon, they readily burn at different temperatures, and the difficulty in burning in oxygen of these forms depends on the strength of bonds, as we looked at in our lesson 1. So please share with your friends so that you can all gain. Share. In case you have any question, you can write it in the comment section. I will try by all means to answer you. Now, reaction of carbon with acids. This is another third part. How does carbon react when treated with acids? So now we are first going to see carbon reacting with nitric acid. You can see the equation there. Carbon, it is a solid, plus nitric acid, which is aqueous. It forms water, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide gas. So in most questions, they say that they ask you to state the observation in the above reaction. So the observation, it becomes a red-brown gas of nitrogen dioxide was observed. So nitrogen dioxide is a red-brown gas. So a red-brown gas of nitrogen dioxide was observed. Then you write the equation as it is. So now, also when carbon reacts with sulfuric acid, it forms carbon dioxide plus sulfur dioxide plus water. So, and you can see from the equation. So the conditions for this reaction is that for these two reactions, the first one for nitric acid and the sulfuric acid, is that these acids, they must be concentrated and they must be hot. So there are two conditions which must be available for these reactions to occur. So now, from what we have seen now, let us take an example of these questions. From what we saw, you can copy the questions, and I think you will have to give us the answers. In case you fail any of them, you can write it in the comment section. You can see number 1, concentrated sulfuric acid was added to sugar in a beaker. State what was observed. So this one we looked at in the lesson 1, and lesson 2, and then you write the equation for the reaction. We also saw that one in lesson 2. Then we state the role of sulfuric acid in the above reaction. We saw those things. Then number 2 is saying which of the following forms of carbon is used as fertilizer: A, lamp black; B, wood charcoal; C, sugar charcoal; D, animal charcoal. So these ones we also looked at in lesson 2. Then number 3 is saying which of the following forms of carbon is an ingredient in printer's ink. We saw that one also in lesson 2. So please, you share with your friends so that they can also get to know what we covered. Share with them and and they can also catch up with us. So those are the questions. Also there we have number 4 saying carbon was reacted with nitric acid in the test tube. This one we have just looked at it. And one of the gaseous products tested with lime water, then they want you to state the condition for the reaction. So the condition for the reaction is that nitric acid should be concentrated, and also the acid must be hot. So if the acid is not hot, then the reaction cannot take place. Then also they said that you write the equation for the reaction. You have already seen it, and you have to balance the equation. Then they are saying you state what is observed during the reaction. So now during the reaction it is red brown gas. So now they are again saying that state what was observed. What was observed when one of the gases tested with lime water. So one of those gases, we formed the two gases, nitrogen dioxide and carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide gas is the one which is tested using lime water, and you observe what precipitate. That is what you observe, and that is the equation. But you're going to look at this one later in lesson 4 in details. So here it is just in summary. So now let us look at the reducing action of carbon. How carbon acts as a reducing agent. So now carbon reduces different metal oxides, and one of them we have lead 2 oxide. If lead 2 oxide reacts with carbon, it is reduced to lead, and then carbon oxidized to carbon monoxide. If lead 2 oxide is in excess, as on this equation 2, if it is in excess, it forms the carbon dioxide gas. And remember, lead 2 oxide is brown when hot and yellow when cold. So those are the observations. It is brown when hot and yellow when cold. And lead is gray. Lead is gray. So when they ask you the observation, you say the brown when hot and yellow when cold solid turned to gray. We continue. You can pause the video and write those equations. Then we have seen also how we are also going to see how it reduces copper 2 oxide. So now when carbon is passed overheated copper 2 oxide, the black solid of copper 2 oxide is reduced to copper, which is brown. So the equation is there. If copper 2 oxide is in excess, then it forms copper and carbon dioxide gas, as the equations are there showing everything clearly. Now also this carbon, it reduces zinc 2 oxide. So now zinc 2 oxide is reduced by carbon. If zinc 2 oxide reacts with carbon, it forms zinc and carbon monoxide. If zinc 2 oxide is in excess, then it forms zinc and carbon dioxide gas. So when writing these equations, you have to be careful and see if was it in excess or not, so that you can easily make these things very well. We go on. Now we are going to see how carbon reduces iron 3 oxide. You can see iron 3 oxide plus carbon, you form iron plus carbon monoxide. So these things, they are commonly set. Now for example, here we have a question which we are going to pass through, but we have already looked at it in lesson 3, this lesson. So carbon was passed over heated copper 2 oxide in a dry test tube and heated strongly until there was no further change. So now when copper 2 oxide you pass there carbon, what do you observe? You observe a black solid of copper 2 oxide. It changes to brown. This one we saw it. We also saw the equation is. Then which of the following oxide is brown when hot and yellow when cold? Brown when hot, yellow when cold. That one we saw it as lead 2 oxide. So you have to revise these things so that they don't confuse you. For the case of zinc oxide, we said it is yellow when hot and white when cold. Then on number 3 we have which of the following oxides is yellow when hot and white when cold. That is zinc oxide, which I have already talked of. So our lesson 3 is ending from here. We are ending from here lesson 3. So we have seen in this lesson 3, we have seen very many things. We have seen the reaction of carbon with acids. So we have tackled all the chemical reactions of carbon. We have seen how it reacts with the air, that is oxygen, to form carbon dioxide if it is in excess, or to form carbon monoxide if it is in limited supply. We have seen how it reacts with acids. For example, nitric acid, we have seen the observation, a red-brown gas. We have seen how it reacts with sulfuric acid. We have tested ourselves with these questions from lesson 2. Then we have seen the reducing action of carbon, how carbon reacts with metal oxides, how it reduces them, how does it affect this one. So when this one reacts, when it reacts, it reduces the oxide, and if the oxide is in excess, then it is oxidized to carbon dioxide. If it is not in excess, it is oxidized to carbon monoxide only. So that's what we have come to look at, and we have tested ourselves with these simple questions. So now remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that I can provide more content for you, because the carbon chemistry is somehow big, so you have to follow it. Then remember to share with your friends so that they can also follow on these lessons and follow on what we are doing. Also, if you have any question, remember to comment. It right in the comment. I will have to see it, and then I will try by all means to give you answers. Together with my colleagues, we shall cooperate and get answers for questions which we will send via the comment. Also, if you have liked the video, do not forget to like the video. So subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. So we are ending lesson 3 from here. We meet in lesson 4. We meet in lesson 4.